So here's the parking for the 5 tent sites here at Buck Hall Recreation Area. A good look at the overall area. All these sites are waterfront. Very pretty campground. We'll say that you can hear, it's about a mile from Highway 17, you can hear the road noise, especially late at night when you're trying to sleep. We heard a train last night and an emergency vehicle. This is site number 1. The sites are very big. A lot of them are shaded, very close to the waterfront. They have a hook for your lantern. We're using it more or less to tie up our clothesline, and they all have these fire pits. That's site number 1, which I think is one of the better sites. Site number 2 here. I'll walk you through all of them. Site number 2 doesn't have near as much shade. Looks like there's plenty of parking here. That site's not reserved. This is a good site here, site number 3. Very shaded. These are very big campsites. It's open as well. This is a really nice site. Squirrel up in the tree, peeking at me. This one has a lot of shade. This one has more shade than our site. That's site number 3. This is a little bit closer to the waterfront as you get down here. This is site number 4. Don't like this one. Or 5. I don't like these as much, although 5 probably has the most privacy. 3 is good. It's close to the parking, really close to the waterfront, and has that really nice shaded area. I like 3. 4 not so much, although it's really shaded. There's a hiking trail or road or something over there on the other side. I believe it's a hiking trail. This is number 5. Looks like we're the only reserved spot. Actually, no. Looks like somebody might have this one reserved. This is not a bad spot. I mean, all of them are big. They all have the same things. This is a wood table. They don't have concrete. I think I'd rather have a wood one. But this one is close to the water. As you can see, very, very close to the water. This is a great. The only thing negative about these sites are no electricity, but most tent camping sites don't have electricity. I prefer to have electricity, but I'm getting more and more adapt to not having it. I have a solar panel and an inverter and all that good stuff, so I can create electricity. Really beautiful waterfront here. Somebody left a hammock behind. Beautiful area. This has a site number 5 has a really good waterfront area. That's that last site, site number 5 and site number 4. I would never dock my boat here. I don't know if anybody ever does that, but I would never do that. There's so many rocks here, it would destroy your boat. But it's very fishable here. You know, you can fish here. The main channel is not very far. If you got a good weight on your line and you can cast far, you can probably get it close to the main channel out there. Definitely get it to the deeper water. And the tide, when it was up high earlier, it's not all the way in right now. Tide comes in, I think it's gonna be high tide around 6. Somewhere around then. It's coming in right now. So this is the time to fish. Tony's down there fishing. Look back at the campsites. So number 5 there, number 4, number 3, number 2, and number 1 where we're staying. I'd say my favorite are number 1 and number 3. 1 has a little more privacy, you got a little more space, has good shade, you're right there, the water's there, you're closer to the bathhouse, and the bathhouse is right between those trees there. Right to the left of our red and gray tent, you can see the bathhouse there in the distance. Squirrel there. Let's see how close he'll let me get. Another good thing about site number 3, which is this site, if you bring any kind of hammock to camp in, like a tent, a hammock tent, you're going to probably want this site because there's multiple trees here you could tie to. Matter of fact, I have intention of doing a camping trip with my son, and we're going to use both hammocks, tent hammocks, and I want to tie off like off of 3 trees, and this would be a perfect spot right here with that big tree and these 2 smaller trees. So that would be very doable here. That would be pretty cool. So just keep that in mind. Here, somebody left a hammock here. But plenty of options for tying a hammock. You could probably tie between that far tree and this tree. Also, you could use what these folks did here. Somebody just left their hammock behind. Bag and all, wow. A couple other options, you could tie between that tree and that one if you want a lot of space between it. A couple other trees here you could tie between. So site 3, which is right there, one of my, I like it almost better than the site I'm in because of the shade. One thing I do like too is there's plenty of shady spots. I'd say the worst campsite here is going to be number 2. Number 2 absolutely has no shade whatsoever. Every other site has shade, but number 2 has no shade. I'm really glad I didn't book that one. I had never been here before. I had driven through it. I wanted to camp here a long time ago, but never had a chance to. Some honeysuckle. That's what that is. That's pretty. Honeysuckle. Growing wild. That's pretty cool. Matter of fact, I've picked up some trash. I'm probably going to walk through here and pick up more trash. I try to pick up trash when I'm staying somewhere. What tree is this? Some kind of nut tree. Some kind of nuts on it. It's not pecan, is it? Not sure what that is. Sure, maybe if somebody recognizes that tree, what type of tree it is. It's not a pecan, I don't know what that is. But I can put it in the description. Huh. Yeah, put it in the comments, I mean, if you recognize that. This is a big, beautiful tree here. If I ever come back here in hammock camp, it is definitely going to be this site, number 3. And my hammocks are going to end up right down in here in this shade. Need to cut that thing down and throw it away. Probably do that before I leave here. Pick up that trash. But anyways, what a gorgeous tree here. No telling how old it is. Now you want to stay away from this Spanish moss because that's full of all kinds of bad stuff that'll get you itching and scratching. So you do have to be conscious of that when you're putting your hammock up too. You don't want to get tied up in any of that.